The other thing we could do is put on the gold fairy and fight it the same way we did the first time, but... But we gotta get up to the key without... Alright, we'll take a shot. We'll take the energy orbs on the way. In one of these. And we'll get up to the key. There's another one. We'll just suck up the nickel and dime damage here. Oh, I'm stuck. No, I'm not. We're out of there. I guess I could probably use one Inferno and then grab that potion. Oh, we're going to have to. I can still cast Armageddon once. That was pretty quick, I gotta say. Actually, I'm pretty happy with how that worked out. But we didn't get as much money as I was expecting. I was actually expecting a lot more money out of that. Looks like I've only got like 150 bucks. I don't know if this was worth it for 150 bucks. But we do want to make sure that we get some... Oh, here, I can probably cast Armageddon here. So I can pick this up. And we are regenerating slowly, as long as I can cast it one more time in the boss room. But I don't want to actually kill anything in the boss room until I'm in there, because the coins will evaporate after a few moments. That was about 250 coins or so. I think this might be an okay... We have to just repeat this a few more times. It's not a terrible, terrible way. And then we still gotta hunt down the fairies anyway before we can do any shopping, so... That'll be fun. Oh, I need to grab this. I gotta cast it once over here. Get all of these coins. Yeah, this isn't a terrible way to get coins, I suppose. Just where's that blue drank at? It's over here? Yeah. It's pretty satisfying in any event. I wish there was more drink in there so I could cast Armageddon one more time on the way out of the level, though. So one more of these and we should be in good shape, because we got to go fairy hunting anyway. We need to get all the fairies for just the completionist of it. Otherwise, this is not a hundo. And if this run's not a hundo, then I'm gonna get fired. The boss man has said, Brickroad, make sure that this run is a hundo or you're fired. But aside from that fact, we do need two of the fairies for upcoming events. It probably would take less time to just save up the money and buy... Ooh, I can't get to my mana potion. Save up the money and buy the shoes full price, but... if we're going to get the hundo anyway, we might as well get the Haggly Fairy. These bats, though. Alright, so there's our 1800 that we need. And now we just need to get all the fairies. We haven't gotten a single fairy from this world yet. You guys ready for 20 minutes of save load? I am definitely ready for 20 minutes of save load. Let's go video games. I don't know why I went down there to pick up gold. I'm not going to need any more gold after I find the Haggly Fairy. Although I suppose we might get to $2,000 before we get... Nah, we're not going to. Because once I get down to where the shop is, where we can reload to get our fairies, I'm going to save load away monsters. Alright, so this is it.
Save load.
It's going to load up and hopefully fairies spawn near to the shop.
Load.
With any luck. I guess we could also see where the compass is pointing, but there's no way we're going to... Once the compass points towards a fairy, there's no way we're going to get to that fairy without getting into a random encounter. There's a fairy. Oh, come on, really? Fairy? You're going to do me like this? You're going to do me like this?
Load.
It's not cool, man. Came back. There's Shooty Fairy. Oh, I guess I did get one fairy from this world. I got the Scary Fairy. Which, what does it do? Maybe I can equip Scary Fairy. How does this actually interact with monsters in the overworld? They move away from me. Some of them do. Skeletons don't care. So yeah, Scary Fairy's not doing anything for me. So we're still looking for Haggle Fairy and Mighty Fairy. Mighty Fairy, as far as I can tell, doesn't do anything.
Load.
It says it gives you extra power or whatever, but it has not been my experience that that's the case. So I don't know what the deal is there, but Haggly Fairy is going to help us
Load.
afford our Air Lancelots. And Haggly Fairy is also very, very important when you go into New Game Plus, which I guess I will show off briefly.
Load.
Explain how it works and why nobody in their right mind would ever do it. Yeah, it looks like some monsters are just not influenced by the Scary Fairy. Maybe she's not that scary. I feel like if the fairy doesn't show up right by the shop, though, there's not going to be a lot of chance of us
Save load.
picking her up, so...
Load. Load.
Maybe we'll just do this.
Load. Load.
It's kind of bad luck we haven't gotten Haggly Fairy earlier, because then we'd already be wearing our Air Lancelots, which means chasing down the fairies would be a little easier. There's one. There's two. Wow, we got both of them. Okay. Haggly Fairy is on, so we're going to buy our Air Lancelots. And that's it. That's all we need to do here. Let's go ahead and save the game.
Save.
And I'm going to load up a New Game Plus save. And I made it as far as Chapter 2 with exclamation points.
Load.
And I'm already at level 50. That's the max level. And the equipment screen is... That's the fairy screen. Is a little different. Not the equipment screen. The shop screen. We got to go to the shop. Enemies have unbelievably high amounts of health. The only, like, realistic way to fight enemies is with the Armageddon spell. But look at how many coins the enemies drop. Because coins are the only way to really upgrade your character in New Game Plus. When we go to the shop... That's not the shop. I don't remember my way through these woods. So random encounters are really super easy. But any level where you can't just spam the Armageddon spell because you don't have the mana to cast it more than a couple times, becomes a slog, because every enemy has so much health. They can take hundreds of shots to kill enemies. So they added new items to the shop: a shield stone, power stone, and spell stone. And this is your upgrade system for New Game Plus. In the top right of the screen, you can see how many of these I've bought just so far in this run of the game. And I have all the other accoutrements, basically. Even with 32 power stones, and the next one's going to cost $6,800, you do almost no damage.
Load.
So, this is how you get money, is you go into the spider level, and you cast Armageddon, and the money comes to you. And you don't want to get hit, because like one hit from Mama Spider will kill you now. But eventually they die. And because I'm at level 50, I don't need Cheapy Fairy in order to cast the spell anymore. And you see how much money I'm getting. And the maximum money turns out to be 50,000. Once you get to 50k, you can't go any higher than that. So yeah, basically you cast Armageddon 3 times to clear out the level and get a bunch of money and go back to buy some more of those stone power-ups. And as far as I can tell, you just repeat that process until you have all of the stones. And maybe at that point, you can deal a reasonable amount of damage. I do have Cheapy Fairy equipped, even though you don't technically need it anymore. But I want to show you just how bad the damage ratio is. Keep in mind, I have 32 of those power stones. Oh, I've got Cheapy Fairy. That's not going to let me. Let's just go ahead and put on Shooty Fairy for this. I mean, yeah, I made 7,000 gold just clearing the level. But look how much health these spiders have. How long it will take to kill one spitter. When I did this level, it was 2 or 3 shots to kill a spitter. With 32 of those power stones, it's taking like 6, 7, 8 shots maybe. So if you're not using the Armageddon spell to clear levels very quickly, there's... So in this playthrough of the game, this is where I stalled out, because I didn't want to just farm Armageddon forever and ever and ever. But without doing that, it's like... Look at this Exac. Pixel, 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 pixel. It's madness. It's madness. Let's get out of here and go back to chapter 4. It's absolutely madness. We're going to put Cheapy Fairy on so we can get up to where the boss is, because it's just the last boss now. We have our Air Lancelots, so we're nice and quick. We are almost infinitely Cool Cat bad. We're getting there. One more boss fight. Did we get everybody? There we go. Cool Cat bad. I do think a nice power-up to buy in the shop, maybe one that doesn't unlock until New Game Plus, would have been start with 1 energy orb in every level, so you never go into a level without shots. Yeah, it might have been a cool power-up to have for New Game Plus. But, yeah, really, enemies having 10, 20, 30 times as much health makes New Game Plus basically unplayable. We're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. Because you survived my Armageddon somehow. So we got all the fairies. We got all the spells. One last bat stands in our way. And there's only 1 level left. Across the lava bridge. So we're going to put on Shooty Fairy. Because Shooty Fairy lets us fire more shots. And here's the last boss. So it's actually kind of tricky to pick up all the goodies. First of all, let's get the life spell equipped here. Oh, that was bad. Okay, that was a practice run. We're gonna do that again. As far as I can tell, there's no really easy way to dodge his like rocks that he fires. And he covers a lot of ground with his spin attack, which is why I wanted the extra speed. And he's got a shield. And his shield will absorb your shots and turn them into his shots, which bounce off walls. So the way I'm going to fight this boss, yeah, you see that he just ricocheted some of my shots off his shield. Whenever he launches an attack, I'm going to fire a couple volleys of shots, which will hit. I guess his name is Bobby Kahn for some reason. But you don't want to fire continuously, because if you do, you'll just have a room full of shots. I did not want to get that close to him. But while he's in another attack animation, or coming out of his shield animation, you can pretty safely get him with a couple of volleys, usually. And if we're very lucky, he won't drop too many more rocks on our head. Luck was not with us this run. And this is how you fight the last boss of Kid Mystic. We really did take too much damage while we were just getting our gear in order that first try. This is a lot better, actually. This time is going a lot better for us. Oh, hello. There's one more diamond up here I want to grab. Okay. So I'm not actually sure how Shooty Fairy works, but you do end up with more shots on screen using Shooty Fairy than not. So anytime I see him do an attack animation or come out of his shield, that's where I'm going to fire shots. But he can put his shield out again like that. And he can do that as much as he wants. Woo! Woo! We're getting there. We're getting there. We might have this as long as he does not... Okay, we can cast life again. That's good. Oh! How did he kill me so quickly after casting life again? I didn't see what... I took all the damage from there. Anyway. He must have dropped a bunch of rocks on my head. And again, you can see the shadow of the rocks, but it's still... It's kind of random where they hit. Like, if you're in the path of the rock, you're going to get hit, even if you... I mean, you can see the shadow and kind of think, oh, well, you know... That's fine. I'm just gonna... I can see that I'm about to take damage, which I guess is kind of nice. This is what happens if you just fire shots continuously. Eventually his shield goes up. And it's just Shot City, which is no good for anybody. I could have bought some better hats for more damage mitigation. Would have been helpful. But that's just more money farming. And I think everybody will agree I've already farmed money enough in this run. Better to just rely on a smidge of luck. If you don't have the boots, though, the boots are a necessity. The hat would be nice, but the boots are a necessity, because if you're not moving this quickly... Ugh. I think what happens is he hits me with a rock or hits me with his sword directly into one of his shots. We got him, though. We got him. Here's some good old FMV. Some good old mid-90s Computer Science 2 FMV. And Mr. Wilkins and his magical bouncing beard was the bad guy. So the plot of Kid Mystic, such as it is we have returned all of the magic orbs to the pedestals around Smurfville. Which is just really tiny. You're a giant, and all the people in Smurfville are less than an inch tall. That's what that scene is conveying there. But I guess Smurfville is actually called Tulipton, which is like a neighboring sister city to Beginnerton. And maybe this is the giant statue. It went to grayscale and now he's... I don't know. Kid Mystic is over. And behind us now. And if you want to keep playing, there is New Game Plus mode. As far as I can tell, the only thing you can do in New Game Plus is spam the Armageddon spell to collect as much coins as possible, to buy as many of those stones as possible. Maybe once you get 99 stones, I only had 32, but once you have 99, like, it's tolerable. But I imagine if you complete New Game Plus, does it just start an even harder version? I don't know. I don't want to find out. I'm not going to play New Game Plus in Kid Mystic. And I'm not interested in learning how to speedrun it. And I'm glad to play it, though. I'm glad I got to play it. It is a charming little game. It is for free. There's the link to the itch.io down there if you want to go try it for yourself. I'm sure Mr. Hamumu would appreciate it. It always does seem a little self-indulgent when we see the credits screen for a game made more or less by one person, because it's just Mike Hummel all through the credits. Sound effects, I have to imagine Brent and Mike here just leaned into their microphone and made all the sound effects themselves.
I'm Cool Cat Bad.
Like that. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm glad I got to share Kid Mystic with you. I'll see you in the next Let's Play.
I'm Cool Cat Bad.
Shoutouts to Paul Polomsky for sponsoring this video, and to everybody who helps make my channel possible by supporting me on Patreon.
Run away!